but also because like these characters have direct counters. Like there's no direct counter to Kaido. There's no direct counter to a bunch of characters in the show, and he didn't know hockey at the time. But water direct counter to Crocodile because he's tangible. Um, Even though that's crazy to be a Logia type, got to be the worst fruit. And then for Eneru is because he's made out of rubber. So I guess you can count that, but I don't know. I don't even know if you would count that. For real, for real. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if you even want to count that. But yeah, we're gonna see how strong. What they talking about? See how strong he was pre-time skip. Pre-time skip. Make sure the camera not looking goofy. I'm getting a cut soon, bro. My hairline's growing in. Chill out. All right, let's put the quality up. Watch it be.
How strong is Luffy pre-time skip? When we talk about Monkey D. Luffy's strength before the 2-year time skip, we're covering a journey that runs from Romance Dawn all the way through Marineford. And the main reason this question is so tricky is because Luffy's power doesn't scale in a clean linear way. He doesn't
It
just
doesn't
get
at
a little
all.
stronger with every
He stays
arc.
the same.
Instead, he usually hits sudden spikes of growth, usually in response to enemies who should, on paper, be far stronger than him.
Yeah,
the right
true.
way to analyze him is arc by arc and fight by fight, and then place him relative to the established hierarchy.
Because realistically, dude only had one training arc ever since he left when he was 18 to be a pirate. He only had one training arc. So like, I feel like he's always just been that nigga. Like he's always just been that strong.
Peace World at the time. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down how strong Monkey D. Luffy was before the 2-year time skip. Now let's
Rob
not waste
Lucci,
any more
too.
time because
Like-
I'm about to get real in depth with this one. Before we get into it, if you've been rocking with my videos or if you're just new and like this kind of content, then be sure to like and subscribe. I
We
drop
gonna see,
One Piece
Brodesky.
analyses, discussions, and debates regularly, so if that's your thing, you're in the right place.
Make sure the volume's
Now,
loud
without
enough for y'all.
further ado, let's get into today's topic. From the start, Luffy is already operating above the level of an ordinary pirate. His devil fruit makes him immune to blunt attacks and firearms, which neutralizes most of East Blue's threats instantly. But what really stands out is his physical strength. Against Alvida, Morgan, and Buggy, he isn't just beating them, he's overwhelming them casually. Don Krieg is the first test of his durability. Luffy takes poison, explosions, and spiked armor, yet he keeps pushing until
Don Krieg,
is finished.
yo,
Then
don't
comes
sleep on my boy Don Krieg, bro. Don Krieg really him. And the craziest thing, they just showed Don Krieg in a previous chapter. We haven't seen Don Krieg since like the double digits, bro. We are in the thousands now, and we finally just now seeing Don Krieg again. And it's only for like a split second. It was like for a small little flashback too. It wasn't nothing major. Now this fight matters because it shows destructive output. Luffy literally tears down Arlong Park with his raw strength. And by the end of East Blue, Luffy is the undisputed strongest pirate of the region, but still far below the level of Grand Line. That's crazy. East Blue weak as hell.
Introduces Smoker, and that's our first reminder of Luffy's limitations. Against Logia users and without Haki, he's practically helpless. That one weakness follows him until the time skip. Alabasta, though, is where we get his first true benchmark in Crocodile.
Facts.
This fight takes 3 attempts to resolve. Round 1, Luffy is destroyed. Round 2,
when I remember first watching this, bro, I really thought that he died. Like genuinely thought he died. I'm like, well, there's 1,000+ episodes. That don't make no sense. How could he possibly be dead? But I fabricated this story in my head that this crew was gonna take over and fight his will on. I was dumb. I don't know why I thought that though.
Using water and later blood to bypass Crocodile's sand body, but it's not enough and Crocodile still wins. But by the time round 3 comes around, despite poison and exhaustion, Luffy finally beats him. Defeating Crocodile is critical because Crocodile isn't a weak warlord. He's a veteran of the Pirate King's era with a Logia
OG,
and massive
bro.
political influence. Luffy's victory against him instantly places him into the world stage as someone who can topple major powers. From
That's
here
my goat
on,
right
he
there,
isn't
man.
just promising, he's proving. Now the NL fight is...
Bro, he did that joint with his bare hand. Like, you know how crazy that is? Like, I know it's an anime, but like, this isn't a... Or he doesn't even look physically strong like that. He's just mad strong for no reason. He don't start getting swollen until time skip, and then when he was in Udon, at the weapons factory, that's when you really start seeing his strength. Dude, strong as hell.
Because on one hand, NL has city to island level destructive power,
This dude, bro,
and speed.
That was just straight cat, bro. This whole fight was cat.
On the other hand, Luffy is literally immune to lightning. and that immunity to lightning means Enel's main advantage in battle is literally useless. So how do we treat this? Well, Luffy defeating Enel doesn't suddenly scale him to Admiral tier, because at the end of the day, it's a situational win, but it does prove that his Devil Fruit isn't just defensive. In certain matchups, it creates absolute counters that let him bypass otherwise insurmountable opponents, and that is actually important context for understanding how dangerous Luffy is even at this stage.
Can he get hit by metal too? Because he's made out of
sleep in power pre-time
man. Nah, yeah. That red counters is crazy.
Represents specialized government assassins with Lucci standing at the
The
top.
remix in the background is crazy.
Luffy invents entirely.
Yo, real quick, can we talk about these CGI trailers that they have for the mobile games? These are made for mobile games. Do you see the animation on this? Why don't they make an actual one? Bro, I'm gonna create a One Piece game one day, and that's gonna be the most fire pirate open world game that you've ever played in your life. If you ever played in your life, there's gonna be a story mode and there's gonna be an online, but I gotta figure out how I want to do online. But you see the potential in these trailers, bro. Just make it happen.
Techniques, those being Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. Gear 2nd dramatically amplifies his speed and power, allowing him to blitz Bluno, who previously outpaced him. Gear 3rd, on the other hand, gives him massive destructive power. Destructive power big enough to shatter structures with a single blow. The downside of it is temporary exhaustion and shrinking, which makes it situational but still game-changing. And his fight with Lucci is where all of this comes together. Lucci pushes him harder than anyone else since Crocodile, but this time Luffy adapts mid-fight, and by the end he proves that he can beat the government's top agent at his absolute best, which places Luffy above the level of most elite human fighters in the series at the time, and it shows that he's capable of evolving during battle in ways most
CGI can't. No, we gotta watch those trailers. I'm not gonna lie.
Luffy a skill jump like Enies Lobby, but it does highlight his stamina and endurance.
We're never gonna see this version of Luffy ever again, bro. Nightmare Luffy is my dog. I fuck with like Nightmare Luffy, and I low-key wonder where does it scale to his other powers. Like how strong is Nightmare Luffy?
Fighting Oars, and then Oars enhanced with Shadows, and then Moria himself, all in succession, pushes him beyond exhaustion, yet he continues fighting and ultimately wins. This is where we can really see just how much punishment Luffy's body can handle. It sets up the idea that even when he's running entirely on fumes, he can still pull off decisive victories, and that trait is what carries him through the arcs that follow. At Sabaody, Luffy hits the ceiling of his Timeskip ability. The pacifistas already demand the entire crew's effort just to bring one of them down, and against Kizaru he couldn't even land a single hit, and Kuma at that point was just kind of overkill, to be honest.
Yeah,
this single arc
they wasn't finna do nothing against Kuma.
Achieved, there's still a massive
it's my goat though. If y'all know Kuma backstory, y'all already know how that joint went down, bro. It's probably saddest backstory in anime history.
Top tiers of the world, the Admirals and the Yonkos. Impel Down isn't just about power upgrades, it's about survivability. Luffy fights his way through level after level of the prison, clashing with Magellan and only surviving thanks to outside help. What stands out is how many lethal situations he endures. Poison, exhaustion, and back-to-back battles. His ability to withstand what would kill nearly anyone else becomes his defining trait here. Marineford is Luffy at his peak before the time skip. He charges into a war involving admirals, warlords, and Whitebeard's commanders. He contributes by saving
that fan letter
lives,
episode was amazing.
Giants, and briefly crossing paths with top tier fighters. But when it comes down to pure power,
bro, did I see Candlewall? Bro, I was thinking about this on the other day. The two giants, Doggy and Broggy, are fighting the boar Gorosei right now, right? And they chop the head off of the other Gorosei, two of the five elders. They both lost. They both lost to Mr. 3, the candle nigga, the wax nigga from pre-time skip. They both lost to him. But they're beating a elder. How high did Mr. 3's stocks just go up? How high did that just go up? They don't have to go gone up crazy.
Gap is obvious. Admirals like Akainu and Kizaru overwhelm him with no effort. The real feat here isn't who Luffy beats, it's really that he even survived. Because Marineford shows that even
everybody
among
was
the
dying,
strongest
bro.
in the world, Luffy's durability and willpower let him leave a mark. But it also reaffirms that he's not yet in their league. So, where does pre-time skip Luffy actually stand? Well, for starters, he's unquestionably the strongest in the East Blue. By the time we get to Alabasta, he's strong enough to kill a warlord if he wanted to. By Enies Lobby, he's strong enough to beat elite government agents with new techniques.
I don't think he's strong enough to beat a warlord. He was strong enough to beat Crocodile. Not strong enough to beat any one of the other warlords. He's not beating Mihawk. He's not beating Kuma. He's not beating Doflamingo. He was not beating Jinbei. Literally, definitely not Jinbei. Who are the other warlords? Who were the other warlords? I can't think of it right now.
Thriller Bark, his endurance is bordering on absurd. But at Sabaody and Marineford, the ceiling is clear. Admirals and Yonkos are far beyond him. So with that being said, the most accurate placement is high warlord level. He's powerful enough to defeat top Grand Line threats and rival government assassins, but nowhere near Admiral or Yonko tier yet. But what do you guys think? Do you think Luffy pre-time skip scales higher or lower than this? Well, be sure to let me know in the comments.
I would say by the pre-time skip Luffy, he's low warlord just because there's no other warlord that he's beating. I gotta see the list of all the warlords now, and we're gonna watch that One Piece video. I mean the CGI trailers because them jokes are tough. Oh, okay. He's beating. Oh wait, he did beat Moria. Okay, so he's beating Moria, Crocodile, and Boa. Those are the only three that he's beating pre-time skip. Everything else he's not beating pre-time skip. The only reason why he can beat Boa is because he's not attracted to her. Like, if you're not attracted to her, like, you pretty much win the fight. But as for the other ones, no. Jinbei is literally a waterbender, and that's his biggest weakness. Doflamingo, he's not beating him without Gear 4, without none of that, not beating him. And we all know why he's not beating Kuma. We haven't even seen Kuma use his full power yet. And that fruit probably strong as hell. Strong as he was definitely hoeing niggas. Because he was hoeing them other niggas. There's a compilation of all of them combined in one video. Let's look at this. And put the quality up real quick. 1080. Get that shit right. Alright, bet. The paw fruit. Bitch. Gone. Nah, yeah, this don't look like this don't look crazy. I don't think y'all understand how clean this is. 3D. If we get a 3D show like this, I'll be fired. Yo, Sino, what's up? What's up? It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute since we checked your music. I forgot how many streams ago that was. That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. What's going on, bro? What's up? That's hard. That's hard. Nah, yeah. Also, talk about hopeless, bro. Watching Sabaody for the first time was one of the first times where I felt defeated in like being on the journey with the crew and all. Like they're my crew. But being on the journey with Luffy, like watching those episodes when Kumash pulled up to Sabaody and started slapping niggas left and right and they started flying everywhere, bro, that genuinely had me terrified. Genuinely. Really speed blitz all of them. Kuma a real one though, cause we find out why he did this eventually. Oh, we ain't got no subtitles. Yeah, it's in Japanese. Like, why can't the games look like this, bro? This is a freaking mobile game. I'm not gonna lie to you, they hold Ace, bro, because everyone was just thinking that Ace was weak. He was always losing, but then he went up against an off-screen Blackbeard, bro. If you know, off-screen Blackbeard is probably top 5 in the One Piece verse. That nigga off-screen has to be the strongest character, bro. No bullshit. Every time he win a fight, off-screen. Every time he defeated, off-screen. But when we see him, he be getting bitched all the time. They hold the fuck out of Ace though. Aokiji's so tough.
Ice Age.
Why? Nigga too clean. That's probably my favorite admiral. Gecko Moria power is high key broken. It's like if you really think about it, Gecko Moria's fruit is just an alternate version of Big Mom's fruit. A lot weaker though, I would say. Actually, no. His fruit, but he can't put like shadows of things in weapons and stuff like that in objects. Big Mom's fruit is broken in a way because they all listen to her and they have their own consciousness. These ones, they also have their own consciousness, but they're really stupid because they don't have a brain. Like they're all zombies, and they're as smart as the person wielding the shadow is. So if you get a dumb person from a dumb shadow, it's gonna be stupid. Big Mom's homies work differently though, but they're both of their fruits are broken respectfully. This is another character I did not know how we was finna beat. Like I'm part of the crew. Why am I getting an ad, bro? This is a 2-minute video.
Kickoff project.
Oh, that's everything. Okay, that makes sense.